Hello and welcome to a Tuesday Live right here on the early line on SportsGrid and all across the SportsGrid network. That includes sportsgrid.com/watch, where you can find your favorite destination to consume everything all across the grid. He is Donnie Rightside. I am Ben Stevens. That's a lovely blue on you this morning, DRS.
Yeah.
And we are here together for the next 3 hours up until 11 a.m. Eastern time. It is a jam-packed Tuesday in the world of sports. We look back on another doubleheader on a Monday night around the association that featured both of the number one overall seeds in either conference. 2 games on the ice in the Stanley Cup postseason. The Canes avoid elimination once again. A full, almost full Major League Baseball slate on a Monday, and on this Tuesday, the start of a WNBA season. Caitlin Clark makes her debut tonight for the Indiana Fever on the road in Connecticut. There is so much to get to over these 3 hours. A full WNBA season preview here in the summer of 2024 comes your way in this edition of the Early Line on a Tuesday as well.
A full season for the WNBA preview today on the show. Get ready, people. We'll get you ready for Caitlin Clark and much, much more. But we had some interesting stuff go down yesterday, Ben. We talked about it early, right? Setting up the show for the day. We were saying, okay, Donovan Mitchell should have a big game. Then we got those alerts that he might be questionable on how that would play into it. Congratulations if you stuck it out there and you just bet the side here with Cleveland and won that one. But that was a pretty dramatic effort from the Cavaliers bench players to almost pull off an upset, but be competitive throughout the night. And so many good things across the ice. And also the Thunder, baby. We're back, Ben. We're back.
The Thunder are back, and do not disrespect OKC on Donnie's watch. That's where we begin the nightcap of a doubleheader in Dallas last night. The Mavericks had an 11-point lead at the halftime break. Dallas was up by as many as 14 early on in the third quarter, only for Oklahoma City to rally in the second half. And late in the fourth quarter, it was back and forth. A dismal shooting night from Dallas overall. A dismal shooting night from Dallas at the charity stripe. Just 12 of 23, and it reared its ugly head late as Luka Doncic walked to the free throw line with an opportunity to tie with 10 ticks remaining in regulation. Only made 1 of 2, and OKC seals it with some made free throws of their own. Behind a 34-point performance from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Thunder even up the series at 2 games all with a 196 victory, slightly as an underdog, just getting a point on the road. Donnie, by the time we got the tip last night in Dallas, only 4 cents separated these two teams on the money line. It was minus 110 Mavs, minus 106 Thunder.
It was great to watch it play out, too. And also, you take a look at SGA. Now, the jokes always come in, Ben, right? He's not allowed to score over 35 points, so he gets in his range. 34 points covers his total. But take a look at the efficiency, Ben. 42 minutes played, 14 of 27 from the field. Only took 1 3-point shot and missed it, but was 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Chipped in with 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. But how about this? The ball in his hands all night long. No turnovers on the road in a playoff game. What a tremendous, tremendous night for SGA. Now, if we do flip it over to some of the numbers you were talking about for Dallas, you're not going to win very many playoff games when you get to the line 23 times and make roughly 50% of your free throws here. You're going to lose that every time, specifically against a team, Ben, that shoots 96% from the line last night. Big time win for OKC. Back in that picture, they steal back home court advantage, which is exactly what you wanted to do after a 1-1 split in your own building here. Love this. Best of 3. What a series.
What a resilient effort from that young Thunder core. 23 of 24 for Oklahoma City from the free throw line. As Donnie said, on the other side, the Mavericks shoot just 52% from the charity stripe, 12 of 23. P.J. Washington continues to fire from deep. 5 made triples for a 3rd consecutive game, was Dallas's leading scorer with 21 points. But if P.J. Washington, in a 4th game of a second-round series in the playoffs, is your leading scorer with a starting 5 that includes Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, it's not necessarily a good thing. Plenty more reaction from Dallas as that series is even at 2 games all. Big news yesterday leading up to the tip of game number 4 in Cleveland between the Cavaliers and the Celtics. No Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs. It moves the line drastically, 12 points in favor of Boston. But a ton of trends came to a close last night. The Celtics do win 109-102 to take a 3-1 series advantage over Cleveland. But it was Boston's first win in this playoff run. They have 7 in total. That was by less than 13 points. It was the first victory for the Seas. They did not cover the number of at least a 7.5-point spread. It was the first time Cleveland has covered as an underdog and not won a game outright. And depending on where you got that number yesterday, either Cleveland easily covered as a 12-point dog, or if you maybe bet Boston at 8.5 earlier in the day before Spida was ruled out, a jumper from Karis LeVert with 2 ticks left might have ripped your heart out to make it just a 7-point win for Boston.
Yeah, take a look there. Darius Garland, 40 minutes played, 12 of 27. He sort of took that Donovan Mitchell role over, 4 of 13 from three-point range, which sounds a lot like Donovan Mitchell, and 30 total points scored. I love the effort that I got out of the Cleveland Cavaliers with King James in attendance last night in Cleveland, but that wasn't enough. And also, the minute you saw that we weren't going to get the superstar Donovan Mitchell playing here for the Cleveland Cavaliers, it was pretty much a wrap. But I love the effort from Cleveland all the way through to keep this game tight and keep it competitive, because quite frankly, once you saw that injury and Jared Allen not playing, like, this might be a 15 to 20-point easy blowout victory. But Cleveland kept it close, but that's all they were able to do. And in the playoffs, you're not going to get any bonus points for keeping games close or covering spreads here. You're now down 3-1. Boston's going to close out in 5, which Spider Mitchell or not was probably going to happen anyway. But I did like the fight for the Cavaliers. They could have rolled over and got beat by 40 last night, but they played it tough at home.
Again, plenty more reaction coming from that series as we head back to a potentially series-clinching game number 5 in Boston in just a few days. Now to the ice. 2 big scores yesterday in the National Hockey League in the Stanley Cup postseason. The New York Rangers in Game 5, back on home ice inside Madison Square Garden, took a 1-zip lead entering the third, but Carolina rallied, scoring 4 times in the third period to stave off elimination again, return to Raleigh, and force a Game 6.
I love this. Let's get a comeback here. Let's see if we can push this to 7 games. I don't know if it's going to get there, but last night you saw the shorthanded goal in the second period by the Rangers, Ben. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to pay attention to this much more. There's no scoring. Just wanted to see who was doing the damage in that game. Check the score later. 4-1 final. What a monster third period on the road in the Garden for the Hurricanes, gaining momentum on a day-to-day basis now.
Elsewhere at the Mile High City, the Dallas Stars roll easily over the Colorado Avalanche, winning 5-1. Dallas has now taken a 3-1 series lead, headed back home, trying to advance to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's a big-time win right there, because now you take a look at an ultra-talented team for the Avalanche, but you have that home ice advantage of 3-1, just need one more victory. That was a dominant performance that sent the fans early to the exits last night in Denver.
Some big NFL contract news yesterday. The Detroit Lions signing Jared Goff to a 4-year, $212 million extension with $170 million guarantee. That's an annual average salary of $53 million per year for Jared Goff. Makes him the second highest paid quarterback in the National Football League, only behind Joe Burrow.
Look, it's the same as the housing market here. You sell a house, you get comps. The next house probably going to sell higher than yours. So let it be known to people out there that if you're worrying about paying your quarterback, pay him first. Don't pay him last. You're going to end up paying much, much more than the previous guys paid for. And that's what happens in the market. Jared Goff is only worth what his number is on the open market.
Yep.
That's what it is now. The next guy that signs, Ben, going to get over what he got. So there you go.
A base point there, DRS. Antoine Winfield Jr., the young safety for the Buccaneers, placed under the franchise tag earlier this offseason, agrees to a historic extension with Tampa. 4 years, $84 million. He becomes the highest paid defensive back in the National Football League. And some big news in women's college basketball. Lisa Bluter, head coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes, announces her retirement seemingly out of nowhere yesterday after 24 years at the helm. Her longtime assistant, Jan Jensen, now becomes the head coach of the Hawkeyes. Plenty more around the NBA playoffs up next.